Hello everybody, welcome to your lovely mat Pilates class for the next 45-ish, 50 minutes. Just a little basic one today. Still going to be a little bit challenging, but basic in the terms of I have set it up in my own house today. Just to show you what you can do in your own house in this particular challenging time. I've, cleared a little bit of room. I've put a mat down, and really that's all we need. So I will get started. I hope you are all well, and I hope that you get a little bit of reprieve or relax from whatever's happening for you at the moment, and focus on your breath and focus on maintaining a little bit of strength if you happen to be in isolation or just riding out this crazy situation that we're in. I will start with some roll downs. You probably won't quite see my head at the top of the roll downs, but everything else you should see me when I'm on the mat. Enjoy your class. So starting from here, feet hip width distance apart. Head in line with the rest of your body, one long line of the body here. Inhale, take a breath at the top. Exhale, tuck your chin to chest. And slowly start to roll down one vertebrae at a time. Try as much as you can to not stick your bottom out. Thinking more of stretching from the spine. Reaching your fingertips down towards the ground. Take an inhale when you get at the bottom. And then exhale very slowly, rolling up from the abdominals. So allowing them to curl, putting each piece of spine all the way back up. As you go, inhale, take a breath at the top. And exhale, chin to chest, very slowly rolling down. Taking a moment here to gather your breath, to gather your thoughts, to start to slow down. The world is a little bit crazy at the moment. This is a good time to really start to focus on your breath. Exhale, rolling all the way back up. Inhale, one last one here, take a breath at the top. And exhale, chin to chest, rolling down. One vertebrae at a time, really making some space in that spine. When you get down here this time, however is comfortable for you, you can walk your hands all the way up, or you can come down to your knees and walk yourself up. Eventually, when you get out there, if you did choose it in this direction, you'll slowly lower your knees, bring your hands directly underneath your shoulders. And your knees directly underneath your hips, trying to have one long line of the body here, flat back. First thing here, inhale, stick the bottom out, look towards the ceiling. And then exhale, uncurl the spine, looking in towards the belly button. Inhale, sticking the bottom out, looking towards the ceiling. And then exhale, curling, looking towards the belly button. 3 more here. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more here. Inhale. And exhale. Last one here. Inhale. And exhale. From here, a little bit of activation for the abdominals. We're going to uncurl our toes just on the mat here. Take a nice deep breath in and very slowly just lift your knees slightly up off the ground, trying to keep your head in line with the body at the same time. So making sure you don't duck your chin or lift your chin up. One more breath here. And release the knees back. Take a breath here, a few more like this, just to activate the very lowest abdominals. Exhale, lifting up. Making sure your head is in line with the rest of your spine. And then releasing back down. 3 more here. Exhale, lifting up. And releasing back down. 2 more here. Exhale, lifting up. And relaxing back down. Last one here. Exhale, lifting up. Now from here, hold this one if you can. Very slowly tap your foot out to the side and back in. Same on the other side and back in. Release, back down. We're going to do that another 4 times. So head in line with the spine. Slightly lift the knees. Tap the foot a little further away and then back. A little further to the other side and then back. And then relaxing back down. 2 more here. Lifting. Out to one side and back. Out to the other side and back. And back down. One last one here. Lifting up. To one side and down. To one side and back. And relaxing here. Inhale, lift the arm up. Trying to keep the hips still in line with the knees. And exhale, reaching that hand through, dropping the shoulder down towards the ground. If you want a little bit more of a twist here, you can reach your arm behind you. Bring it back up, placing the hand down. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, reach through. Same again, if you want a little bit more of a stretch, you can reach behind. Last one. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, reach through. Last little twist. And placing the hand down. Same with the other side, making sure the knees are still directly underneath the hips. The hands are still directly underneath the shoulders. Inhale, rising up. And then exhale, reaching through. Trying to sit that elbow down without moving the relation of the hips to the knees. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, reaching through. One last one here. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, reaching through. Both hands directly underneath your shoulders. Taking the opposite stretch this time, as opposed to the top half of the body. Think of lengthening long out of the legs this time. Give your long leg there. Flex your heel, point your toes down towards the ground. Think about straightening the leg all the way from the hip socket. So notice sometimes I might still have a little bit of a bend. Really think about lengthening that leg. From here, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, trying not to move the rest of the body. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. 4 more here. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. 3 more. 2 more here. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Last one. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Now from here, bend the knee. This time pressing up in a pulse fashion here, using our glutes to activate our glutes here. So still trying to keep the hips in line, still trying to keep the shoulders in line. Think about pressing that flat foot to the roof. 4 more here. 2 more. Last one. And then bringing the knee in towards the chest. Like the head in. From here, send it back out. Now, if you want to try this for balance as well, take your opposite arm. Bend your elbow in. And then press all the way out. So almost think of this as singing your favorite 80s power ballad song. So bringing in the microphone and then pressing all the way back up. Now you can get quite creative with whatever song you want to sing here. And then pressing out. 2 more on this one. Last one. And placing the hand back down, the knee back down. One last little one, just focusing on the glutes as opposed to the top half of the body as well, is to bring the knee up and then take it out to the side without trying to move the hips too much. So still try and think about them being directly over the knees. Taking it out, bringing it back in. Taking it out, bringing it back in. Taking it out, bringing it back in. 4 more here. 3 more here. Trying not to lean to the other side too much. 2 more. And the last one here. Changing sides here for the legs. So making sure hands are still under shoulders, knees are still directly under the hips. Take the leg long to start with. And again, flex that heel. Pull the toes back towards you. Think about a long straight leg lifting here. And then very slowly lowering it down. Long straight leg. And then very slowly lowering it down. Trying to keep the rest of your body nice and stable here. Lifting and lowering. 4 more here. 3 more here. 2 more. Last one here. And then bring the knee in. This time bending, pulsing up, thinking about a flat foot towards the ceiling. Correct? Little pulses more so here now. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. And then from here, bend the knee in towards the chest, pull your head down. Lengthen the arm out long if you want the balance as well. And then think of your favorite 80s power ballad on this side. And then reach up. And then pull it in. And then reach up. And then pull it in. Reaching out. Pulling it in. 3 more. Reaching out. Pulling it in. 2 more. Last one here. Bringing the knee directly under the hips, hands directly under the shoulder. Last one for the knees here. Lift the knee up, take it out to the side. So you may not be able to see as well this way, but same exercise as before. Exhale, lifting up. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, lifting up. Inhale, bring it back to center. 4 more here. 3 more here. 2 more. And the last one. And relax yourself down for a quick little rest here. Gather your breath. So inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Last 2 here. Inhale through your nose. Try and walk the fingers a little further. Exhale through your mouth. And the last one. Inhale through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. Bring yourself to be on your back this time. Hug your knees into your chest. So think about lifting the chest as much as you can, hugging the knees in. Standing one leg long here. Hold it. Very slowly lower it. And slowly bring it back up. Slowly lowering it. And bringing it back up. 3 more, slowly lowering it. And bringing it back up. 2 more here. Slowly lowering it. And bringing it back up. Last one here. Slowly lowering, reaching over the hip. And bringing it back up. Hug the knees in. Same thing on the other side. So feel free to lift as high as you like here. Lowering. Lifting it back up. Trying to maintain your balance in this position as well. 3 more. And lifting up. 2 more. And lifting up. Last one. And hug your knees into your chest. Lifting and changing sides frequently here now. Sending it up, bringing it in. Sending it up, bringing it in. 5 more each side. 4 more each side. 3 more each side. 2 more each side. Last one each side. And hug your knees into your chest. From here, send both arms and legs. Bring them all the way back in. Send both arms and legs. Bring them all the way back in. Send both arms and legs. Bring them all the way back in. 4 more here. Send both arms and legs. Bring them all the way back in. 3 more. 2 more. Last one here. And hug your knees down. From here, quick little stretch for the body. So take your arm out to the side, take your knee across. Just getting a little stretch through the spine, also feeling a little bit of opening here. 2 more breaths. Last breath. And then bring your knees back to the center. One leg long, other knee across the body. Take your arm out as much as you can. I'm hitting a little bit of the wall here. We make do with these sorts of things when we're at home. Exhale, allowing it to drop a little further. Last breath. And then bringing your knees back to center. So still working on the abdominals here with the legs moving in and out with this creates lever load. So you can do 2 things here with your lever load. You can take the legs higher if it feels too much. You can take the legs lower if you have that control, just making sure they're not completely touching the ground, so it's close as possible but not completely touching down the ground. You can also, to make it harder, think about sitting your chest up a little bit taller as opposed to being down here. So these are some options to start to make it a little bit harder for you. So from here, take your hands behind your head, sitting as high as you like in your chest lift, or like I said, you could be down here. You are bicycling the legs here. So this time not holding on to them, getting a little bit more of that lift through the chest. Thinking about one knee coming all the way into you, one long leg going all the way out. 2 more in this direction. And then reverse your bicycle. Still thinking one long leg coming up and then bending it. 2 more in this direction. And hug your knees in. This time we will turn towards the bent knee. So hands behind the head, still lifting up as high as you would like. Remember, you can take the long leg as low or keep it as high as you want. Rotating towards the bent knee, using your obliques here. And then changing sides. And changing sides. So the more slower and controlled you can do this, the more you think of the underarm lifting up towards the opposite hip, as opposed to just turning the head, the more length you will get and stretch out of the abdominals here. Two more each side. One more each side. And hug the knees in. So circle them around. You might find if you have very tight hip flexors, that by now, with lever loading of the legs, you find that this area tends to get a little bit sore. So feel free to stretch it out. Then send your circles the other way. 3 more here. Last one. Now from here, a little bit more of a stretch in the hamstrings here. If you feel at any stage that this is a little bit impossible to do with straight legs, you can do it with bent knees at any time. So lifting yourself up into as high a chest lift as you like. Left leg towards the ceiling, right leg down. Now, if you need to, maybe they are just here and they're just little scissors. If you want to, lift right up, send the other one all the way down, and then change from here. Try and hold either below or above the knee. Try not to hold right on the knee. So we're going to pulse it towards us 2 times. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You can point the toe. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 2 more each side. Last one each side. And lower yourself all the way down. So the last little bit of effort here with the straight legs, not necessarily the last bit of abs that we do, unfortunately, is to put the hands behind the head, thumbs either side of the neck. Keep that long scissor position. Now this time, turning towards that straight leg. So pulse it in twice, and then turn and pulse it in. Pulse, 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 pulse. 2 more here. Last one each side. And hug your knees into your chest. Again, if the hip flexors are causing you any grief, circle the legs around one way, and then circle them around the other way. We'll come back to a little bit extra ab work throughout the rest of the video. For now, we'll focus a little bit more on our sides. So laying down nice and flat on your mat here. A couple of little setup tips here is that we want 2 hips stacked on top of one another. So hopefully you can see that a little bit here. It might be a bit hard to tell. 2 shoulders stacked on top of one another. Now also with the hips stacked on top of each other this way, you will try not to roll backwards, try not to roll forwards. That's where you can tell if the hips are stacked. Also thinking about a hike here. So if this hip feels like it's lower this way, this hip will be up this way. Think of creating more space underneath your obliques so that you're stacked, but you are lifted here. You're not completely relaxed. Otherwise, my 2 hips will be out of alignment. So think stacking here, hips on top of one another. So at any time, your hand can rest in front if you need. As you get better at this, start to move it, start to put it on your hips, start to take it long, whichever way you would like to challenge your balance. First thing here is to exhale, point the toe, lift it up, and then slowly draw it down with a flex foot. Inhale, lift up long, and then exhale to slowly draw it down. So start to feel your inner thighs switch on here as well. Inhale, lift. Exhale, slowly bring it down. 3 more here. So stretching out as far as you can without moving the hips from on top of each other. Reaching down. 2 more here. Inhale. Exhale. Last one here. Inhale up. Exhale down. Now, lift it to about hip height. From here, circling. Now remember, you can have your hand in front for support. Maybe try to lightly tap it, making sure you're not forcing your whole body weight into it. So circles here. Try and keep the toe pointed and the foot facing the same way. Sometimes I have a habit of Doing these with my circles. 2 more here, trying not to move the top half of the body as well. And reverse them the other way. 5 more in this direction, pointed toe, watching that the foot doesn't fling around. 2, 1, and relax it down here. So lifting up to that hip height position. Again, hand in front if you need. Underneath leg comes to tap. Underneath leg comes to tap. Now the more lift you have here, the easier this will be. If you are relaxed here, you have a lot more body weight that you have to lift. If you are lifted here, it is just that action of the bottom leg coming to the top. 4 more here. 3 more here. 2 more. Last one. Lower both the legs down. Again, hand in front if you need. Both legs lift up together. And back down. Both legs lift up together. Ooh, that was a wobbly one. And back down. Both legs lift and down. Both legs lift and down. Watch your feet. I know because my feet have a habit to turn when I do this as well. 2 more. You don't have to be very high. Last one. And relax that there. So bring the top knee up. Think more inner thigh of the bottom leg this time. So exhale, lift for 10 pulses here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, especially if you're home with kids, you can teach them this as well. Draw the alphabet with your toe. So I think pointed toe and draw the alphabet. So it's up to you if you want to have capital letters, if you want to have lowercase letters, whatever you feel works for you at this particular time. That's going to help you keep your leg actively moving. So I think I'm about up to M, N, O, P. It's probably not the prettiest writing I've done in a while. Although none of us really write that much anymore. Maybe this is a good practice. Start writing with our toes. X, Y, and Z. Oh, feel that inner thigh there. It's a little bit testy. So, obviously, same thing on the other side. So setting yourself up the same way, long outstretched hand here. I might move a little bit further back on the mat. So long legs here, hips stacked, shoulders stacked. Making sure, I may not have said this on the other side, making sure the legs aren't completely in line with the body, making sure there is a slight little tilt forward of them. That is mainly because naturally you have that little curve in your lower back. If you were to stand up against a wall, you'd be slightly out from the wall where the back is. So same thing here. If I was to stack you perfectly up here, you'd be more arching your body this way. So hips and shoulders are stacked. Legs come a little bit further forward, but they're still stacked on top of each other. So pointing that toe up, and then exhale, flexing that heel back down. Inhale, pointing the toe up. Exhale, flexing the heel back down. Inhale to point the toe. And exhale to flex the heel. Inhale to point. Exhale to flex. Inhale to point. Exhale to flex. 2 more here. Inhale to point. Exhale to flex. Last one. Inhale to point. Exhale to flex. Now from here, lifting that leg up to hip height. Remember, a little bit of your stability, if not on the hands, comes from this lift in the underside of waist as well, so you're not completely dropped down in there. So circling here. I know that's probably a little bit hard to see currently because I have a black t-shirt and a black mat, but I'm not actually touching. 4 more here. Be mindful of your spine staying in line as well. I know sometimes I have a tendency to tuck my head in, so try and think of your spine staying long. Reverse your circles here. Now that I do have a lovely camera screen on me, I start to see all the things that I do wrong as well. Which is probably very good that we're doing this. Maybe my proprioception will get a lot better as well. 2 more here. Last one. And relax. Now from here, remembering pointing toe, trying not to flick your feet around. Bring the bottom one up to the top. You can have the hand in front for support if you need to. The more lift you have in here, the easier it is to bring the underneath knee up. Lift and lower. So not as good a side here for me. The top leg wants to drop a lot more than it did on the other side. 3 more here. 2 more. Last one. And stacking both the legs here. Again, making sure a little gap and your hips are stacked. Both legs lift together. Both legs lift together. So seeing as this is my bad side as well, I have to be careful of not rolling my hips back to lift up, because my body naturally wants to do that from my sore leg on this side. It's finding it difficult to lift straight up. 3 more here. 2 more. Last one. And then bending the knee in front. Still having your hips stacked. Thinking of switching your inner thigh on here. Pointing your toe. Pulsing here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then from here, drawing that lovely alphabet. Again, making sure your head's nicely in line, toe pointed. You could do capital letters. You could do lowercase letters. Whatever you feel works for you. H, I, J. Maybe we all return back to school at this particular moment. We're having a lot more home time. We're going to have to get a lot more creative. We're not doing the same things that we would normally do every day. So this might be a nice little challenge for our brains for the next few months. W, X, Y, Z. Oh, how's the inner thighs there? So let's give the inner thighs a little bit of a rest. Let's start moving the spine a little bit more here. Especially if you are home a lot now, you might find that you might not be getting a chance to move around throughout your day as much as you normally would. However, if you were an office worker, maybe now when you're at home you will move around a little bit more. I know I will probably tend to walk to the fridge about 17 times. So from here, take your legs long. I'm going to admit one more person as a late little appearance to our Pilates class. So taking your legs long, taking your arms long as well. Thinking of drawing in the belly here. Thinking of your hands being on a beach ball. Exhale, reach forward, long out of the spine. So think more, the legs stay where they are, the reach is greater as opposed to just dropping into your hips. Really think reaching out of that spine. Now when you are here, you're going to inhale to lift the arms up as well. Exhale to lower them down. And then sit yourself up nice and tall. Inhale to reach forward. Exhale to lift them up. And back down. Stacking up tall. So taking the breath the opposite way this time. So exhale, reaching forward. Inhale to lift the arms up. Exhale to bring the arms back down. And then stacking up nice and tall. 4 more here. Exhale, reaching forward. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale. Stacking back up. Take a breath here. Exhale, reaching forward. Stacking up tall. Reaching all the way down. And sitting up again. Remember, shoulders back and down as well. Last one. Reaching forward. Reaching the arms up. Placing them back down. And then sitting nice and tall. Now also, I probably forgot to mention, if you struggle to find an ability to sit tall here, you could always roll up the back of your mat and prop yourself up on it. It will help you sit a little bit taller. So if you feel like you are doing this, roll the back of the mat up. You also, now that you're at home in your lovely lounge room, you could also possibly grab a couple of cushions and sit yourself up high as well. A pillow from the bedroom, for example. But lots of different ways that we can do this. So bring your right heel, place it flat on the ground, bring your knee in towards your chest. And then from here, take the right hand back, turn towards that knee, and then if you have a little bit more range in your stretch, you can drop the elbow over and slowly rotate the head back in line with the spine. So try not to just take the head if the spine is not also rotated. You will hurt your neck a little bit. Try and think about the chest rotating back. Try and keep this arm straight too if you can. And then releasing, uncurling, leg out long, knee in towards the chest, elbow over, twisting to the other side. You might have heard a nice little crack through my back there. 2 more breaths here. Last breath here. And bringing yourself back to the front. Now, thinking of a coffee plunger. I'm sure there's going to be lots of coffee drunk in the next few months. So, arms up long. Rotate your spine. Take the arms down, pulse twice. Lift up, rotate, pulse twice. Now, continue with this. I'll just show you a little bit of form here. When I'm rotating from my chest. If I'm rotating from my hips, you will see my feet doing these ones. So make sure that it is the rotation of the torso. The feet should stay exactly where they are. Very good. 2 more each side here. Last one each side here. And relax. So as promised, haven't quite finished with our abdominals yet. So bringing ourselves to sit at the edge of your mat. Give yourself some space to get down with each one here. First thing you're going to do, plant your feet. Think about drawing your sit bones in, or thinking about having your glute smile or your bottom smile. So hello, I'm happy. Happy little bum down here. So arms out long. We're going to stagger this. Each time we're going to get a little bit lower each time. So exhale, curl. Take a breath. Now before you move, you're going to lift your left arm up and then place it back down. You're going to lift your right arm up and then place it back down. You're going to lift both arms up and then place it back down. So to work with your obliques here as well, you're going to take the left arm out to the side. I'm going to bend mine slightly. I'm restricted by the wall. Right arm out to the side, hand back. And then both arms out to the side. Stacking yourself all the way back up. So think how far you got down and try and add a little bit extra to it each time. So I like to think about it as a vertebrae of the spine. Each time I want to drop another 2 vertebrae to touch the mat. So exhale, really curl through the abdominals here. Take yourself a little bit lower. Inhale, reach the arm up and back down. Are those feet still planted? Right arm up and back down. Both arms up and back down. Left arm out to the side and back. Right arm out to the side and back. Both arms out to the side and stacking all the way up. So 2 more here, a little bit further this time as well. Still keeping those feet planted. Move over slightly just so I can stop hitting the wall with this left arm. So exhale, rolling down a little further. Inhale, reach it up, left arm up, hand down. Inhale, right arm, exhale down. Both arms, and down. Out to the side. Oh, that's better. Out to the other side. And then both arms. And stacking all the way up. So you have one last one here. Thinking as far as you can go without falling and still being able to come back up. So remembering, switch those glutes on, make your bottom smile, switch your lower abdominals on, think about drawing your pelvic floor up as well. Exhale, rolling down. Inhale, one arm and down. Right arm and down. Both arms and down. Left out to the side, back to the front, right to the side, back to the front, both to the side. Oh, all down and all the way back up to the top. So, a little bit of practice here. A little bit of shoulder strengthening, a little bit of arm strengthening, and a little bit of ab strengthening here as well. Pilates, we always manage to use our abs for everything. So you get very little reprieve from the abs at times here. So from here, nice flat back. First thing you're going to do is just drop the chest without bending the elbow and then press back up. So it's almost like you're thinking about the shoulder blades pressing as far away as possible and then kissing together at the back. So stretching them apart and then kissing them together. You might also like to think of the shoulder coming in and out of the socket. Not physically coming out of the socket, but pressing all the way back as far as you can, so it's full range of movement within that socket. Dropping the chest in, bringing yourself back up. Dropping the chest in, bringing the chest back up. So trying to start to work on the muscles of the back here. So from here, thinking about setting yourself up for a high plank position. So our perfect positioning with our high plank is by starting in this position with the knees directly underneath the hips and then just taking one foot out and then the other. So your back should already be in one long line here. Your hands are still directly underneath your shoulders. You're up on your tippy toes, you're in one long straight line. Now, you can hold this plank for 5 breaths. So the breaths is up to you. If you need to get out of it really quickly, 5 breaths is still 5 breaths. If you want to challenge yourself, you'll hold it for a little bit longer and slower breaths here. When you've done your 5 breaths, pop yourself back down to your knees. If you feel you need to get a little bit extra stretch in the shoulders, you can sit yourself back into a little child's pose here in between your feet. Bring yourself forward. This time for 4 breaths. So remember the setup is the same. Hips are over knees, hands are over shoulders, and then the feet just go back without lifting the spine or dropping the spine any lower. Draw the abdominals in, thinking about those muscles in the back that we used as well. 4 breaths this time. Keeping the head long in line with the spine. And then dropping the knees down if you need to. Pressing back, dropping the head. Last one here, 3 breaths. So thinking, lifting, lovely long position of the body here. Taking your breath as slow as you need to. And dropping back down to your knees, pressing back if you feel you need the stretch in this way. And then reversing our lovely plank position here. So this is a little bit more challenging, a little bit more arm strength as well. Be careful not to bring your shoulders up near your ears. Very much think about having that separation between the ears and the shoulders, not wearing them like earrings, dropping them down as far as you can. Thinking about the bony landmarks of the shoulder blades almost kissing together or holding a pen in between your shoulder blades here. Just so you can keep that position and you're not going to hurt your neck in this next pose. So, 2 ways to do this. Keep the feet planted with the knees bent. Press yourself up here. Taking a long position of your spine. Take a breath here. And then exhale, curl yourself all the way back down. Just going to add one last person for the last 5 minutes to see how they go. Pressing back up. Take a breath. Exhale, rolling down. 3 more here. Welcome to our class for the last 5 minutes. Exhale, rolling up. Inhale, rolling back down. 3 more here. Exhale, press up. Head long. And then curl back down. 2 more here. Press up. And curl back down. Last one here. Pressing up. And curl back down. Now from here, if you want to make it a little bit trickier, you can take the legs long here. Now, for those of you who have just joined us in the last 5 minutes of class, this is being recorded, so we can watch it back later. And I'll have a chat to you about timings of classes and stuff like that as well. So point your toes, lift this time the whole body up if you can. Now, if that's not possible, continue with the knees bent, but maybe walk them a little further out. Give yourself a little bit more challenge. Otherwise, heels are planted, pointing toes, lifting up, and releasing back down. 4 more here, pressing up, lifting the head back, releasing back down. 2 more here, remember that spacing between the shoulders. Pressing up, and back down. The last one here. Pressing up, and back down. Very good. From here, hug your knees into your chest. A little bit of balance practice here before we finish the end of our class. So, you have a few choices here, the way that you want to practice your balance. The first one is draw the belly button in towards your spine and try and roll back and roll back up. Now, I will even allow you to use a little bit of momentum today if you feel you need to. And you want to plant your feet down like so, that's fine. I won't be too stuck on that. Otherwise, belly button in towards your spine, rolling back, trying to balance. So this is your first one. If you feel you're not at the rocking stage at all, you can walk your hands down, walk your hands back up. If you feel you're past the rocking stage here, release your hands and roll yourself back and up. Trying to keep your balance. Rolling back and up. And back and up. 2 more. Rolling back and up. Last one. Rolling back and up. Now from here, continue whichever one you feel comfortable with. If you want to try and straighten the legs out here, even start with the hands directly underneath the knees, and you can try very slowly. You can see my abs are shaking trying to do this. My legs are shaking. So try and straighten. Even if it is a little bit further down here, that's okay, that's acceptable today. You want to get to a stage where you can lift up a little bit higher. 1 more on each side. And then roll yourself all the way back down. Taking your left heel over the top of your right knee. So starting to stretch out a few different things that we used today. So one being our glutes, so pull the leg closer to you. While I have you here too, to show you a deeper glute stretch, seeing as I have a wall right at my disposal, if you were to put your bottom right up against the wall, so that your hips cannot move, your bottom cannot tilt back or forward, and then place your foot over the knee, pressing the knee further back so that the leg's in one long line, and sliding that foot down the wall, you'll feel a very deep glute stretch here. Even I can't really take my foot down any further than that because I'm feeling it quite a lot in this glute. Also feeling it a bit in this hamstring today. That's probably because my knee's a little bit injured. And then changing sides. So if you're still on the mat, you can just change sides, bringing the other knee over the hip. Otherwise, slide it down the wall. So we might have a lot of houses with a few foot marks on the wall in the next few weeks. Slide it down. Try not to move your bottom away from the wall. Still try and make it touch it so that you can get as much of the stretch as you can, and then pressing that side away as much as you can. And then releasing it back up. So the rest of our little stretches, just on the mat here, bring yourself onto your stomach so that you can start to get a little stretch through the abdominals. So on your stomach here, hands by your side, inhale, take a breath. Drop your shoulders back and open, and then press away, get a nice and stretch through the body. And then lower yourself all the way back down. Our poor abs got a lot of work out today, so they need a little bit of love. Pressing up and away. Remember, also think about lifting the abdominals so that you're not dumping into the back as well. There's a bit of a difference between here and actually lifting here. You should see my lower spine looks a little bit more protected now. Last two here. Pressing up. And lowering down. Last one. Pressing up. And lowering down. And just a little one to help those little shoulders that we got a little bit of an arm and shoulder workout at the end here. Take one arm long, bend the opposite knee towards you. This hand is pressed and the elbow is bent here. We're going to press ourselves over to this side and press this foot to the ground. So you will feel a stretch through this shoulder of this hand here. And then rolling yourself back to center, changing it over. So hands here, other arm long. Again, I'm going to have to move slightly away from the wall. These are the in-home challenges at the moment. Bring, whoop, wrong one, this leg up, roll and open. So try and put the flat foot on the ground. You might find if your hip flexors are a bit tight, it's a little bit harder. You could always bend the knee a little bit closer. But this will also stretch out the hip flexor if you try and open it out that way. Oh, it's a nice shoulder stretch. And then roll back to the front. Uncurl your body here. The last little thing you're going to do is some roll downs to finish. So if you were at the start of class, you will see we did some roll downs to start with. Now you will miss my head in this, but I'm sure you all know what I look like by now. So rolling yourself up with your abdominals, one by one. So when you're at the top, inhale, take a nice big breath. So head in line with spine. I know you can't see mine right now. The first thing I'm going to do is tuck my chin to my chest. My feet are hip width distance apart. Exhale. Slowly roll down from the spine, making sure you don't stick the bottom out. So rolling down, reaching with the spine here. Reaching the fingers down towards the ground. Inhale, take a breath. And then exhale, slowly peel up from the abdominals. Rolling all the way back up. Two more here. Exhale, rolling down. Inhale, take a breath at the bottom. Exhale, rolling back up. And last one here. Inhale, take a breath. Exhale, rolling down. From here, feel free to get very loosey-goosey. Shake your head side to side, nod your head, yes and no. Do whatever you feel you need to. Your class is finished. Thank you very much for your participation. Those of you, like I said, who did just jump on in the last 20 minutes or last 10 minutes or so, I have recorded this. So I do believe I can send a separate link of where it's recorded and you can look at it. Yeah, if not, feel free to send me an email if you have us on email, especially if you are
overseas. I know there's a few people that may be doing this from overseas, so they may have just slightly got the time off. So Melbourne is in daylight savings time at the moment. So it is now currently 10 minutes past 10. So you may have been just an hour out maybe, because the normal time without daylight savings, it probably would be now that the class was on. But we're in daylight savings time still at the moment. Yes, thank you very much for your participation, and I hope you all enjoyed your class, and I will see you all soon. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.